Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. This is volume 1 of the explanation of Sunan AlTirmithi or Jami' الترمذي by Shaykh Muhammad ibn Ali ibn Adam ibn Musa الإتيوبي الولوي, the well-known محدث here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He resides in Mecca or near Mecca. He teaches in Mecca, Darul Hadith, and he teaches in the Haram, the well-known African Shaykh, Ethiopian. And this is his explanation of, this is one volume. This is volume 1 of his explanation of Sunan AlTirmithi. I believe he's up to about volume 9. I have 6 volumes. I believe the Shaykh is up to about volume 9. And it's important to know to look. If you have never seen any of the books of Shaykh Muhammad Adam, the explanations of hadith specifically, it's nice to look inside and see, what the Shaykh does in his explanations. Because, in my opinion, as somebody who, in my personal opinion, that doesn't really matter. It's not an important opinion. I believe the Shaykh's books are amazing. So, this is the first hadith. This is hadith number 1. حدثنا قتيبة قال الإمام الترمذي. The Shaykh, he says, بسندنا المتصل إلى الإمام الترمذي, with our connected chain to الإمام الترمذي. Right? أول الكتاب, in the beginning of the book, he has a chain of his own to الإمام الترمذي. And he mentions the hadith, or the hadith is mentioned. حدثنا قتيبة بن سعيد حدثنا أبو عوانة عن سماك بن حرب وحدثنا هناد قال حدثنا وقيع عن إسرائيل عن سماك عن مصعب ابن سعيد عن ابن عمر عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. لديه مجد حديث لا تقبل صلاة بغير طهور ولا صدقة من غلول. قال هناد في حديثه إلا بطهور. So the Shaykh, he mentions the hadith, and I just want to highlight the order, right? I just want to highlight the order and the organization and the tremendous benefits that you can find in the Shaykh's books. So the Shaykh, he mentions the hadith, right? And then he mentions the narrator. Look, he's the next section after the hadith, رجال هذين الإسنادين, because this one hadith has 2 chains. This one hadith has 2 chains because of the ha here, and that's a different issue. But this hadith has two chains. So the Shaykh, he mentions the men of the 2 chains. He said, رجال هذين الإسنادين ثمانية, the men of these 2 chains. In other words, there are 8 men in these 2 chains. And he mentions them one by one. And of course, this is the first hadith, so it's going to have a lot more detail than later hadith, but the information is there. Qutayb ibn Sa'id. Right? Then here Abu Awana. Tarja, this is the biography. The Shaykh is doing his own biography of the narrators, and of course the Shaykh gathered the information and stuff, but still, it's a huge benefit for the person studying hadith, the person studying, these books. The Shaykh's explanations of hadith are all organized the same way. Tirmidhi, this is Tirmidhi, Sahih Muslim, Sunan al-Nasa'i. They're all organized the same way. Simak ibn Harb, he's mentioning the narrators one by one. Hannad, Waqi'. Right, and then he continues and mentions all of the narrators in detail. Right, Israel was there, Ibn Umar is here. All of them, he mentions them in detail. Then he mentions some subtle benefits, some fine benefits from the chain. right? لطائف هذا الإسناد. Some fine benefits, some sort of subtle benefits, right? He mentions them. Then the next part, he explains the hadith, شرح hadith, right? Where he explains some of the wording and so on and so forth, right? And then مسائل تتعلق بهذا الحديث. The issues that are connected, the legislative issues that are related to this hadith. And he mentions the اختلافات and different masail, the differing of the scholars in different issues. It's very nice. And then he goes to the next hadith.